Hey guys, Ledgonius here. Welcome back. Today we're going to do an overview of Season 7 of LIU Atlas. Now, Season 7 was our second longest season of LIU Atlas ever, with 20 full episodes and one special edition episode. So we're going to do a quick overview here. Maybe one of them will catch your attention and you'll want to check out the episode. So here's all the episodes of Season 7 in just a few minutes. The season starts off with a tour of the Ferox cluster, a cluster of stars in the deep core. There's one problem though. The cluster is shrouded in a thick, rocky nebula. This nebula, called the Kaligavet Nebula, is a navigational hazard. Most ships, like the Magellan, can't travel in hyperspace while in the nebula. Duke and his crew secure a ride on the ferry Charon to navigate the Kaligavet Nebula. After arriving in the cluster, Duke's first destination is the port world of Ligati. Ligati is the staging point for the LIU's financial exploits into the cluster. It's also the cluster's official capital. The planet is run down and full of criminals. That's mostly because LIU offloaded thousands of petty criminals here in order to populate the port. It sort of backfired. Duke meets his guide, Trabax, a former criminal himself. Trabax will be Duke's guide for all the worlds in the Ferox cluster. He warns Duke that the isolated cluster is a dangerous place, and much of it is outside the grip of the LIU. Trabax also warns Duke that 3 of the 4 variations of the galaxy's space spice originate in the cluster. This has attracted several more dangerous criminals here. Duke gets a little worried. Duke and Trabax visit Atanatus, the first of these spice worlds. Atanatus is home to the space spice Awe. Duke might have enjoyed himself, but then he found out Atanatus is home to an arachnid race. Duke hates spiders. Trabax explains that most of the worlds in the cluster are inhabited by arachnid races due to panspermia, so Duke better get used to it. The native arachnids steal spice both legally and illegally. In small amounts, Awe is used by the LIU soldiers as a stim, but most Awe users in the LIU use it illegally to feel a sense of euphoria, or awe. Trabax and Duke then venture off to the planet Tantabus, another spice world, and yep, there's more arachnids here too. Tantabus is home to the spice Tantaban, known on the streets as Dream Sauce. Duke and Trabax tour the caves where the spice grows, at least until the huge native arachnids show up. Duke gets a good scare. Then it's off to the planet Vitrum. Unlike the other worlds here, the LIU's forces are highly concentrated. There's more arachnids too, but they're like totally cool spiders. Vitrum is home to large crystalline reefs that the LIU is exploiting for crystals. These crystals make more powerful weapons, hence why the LIU is so concentrated here. Trabax and Duke wrap up the tour of the Ferox cluster by visiting the notorious moon of Kator Furta, aka the Smuggler's Den. This shady moon is the unofficial capital of the cluster and its most populated world. The moon is home to the criminal organization known as the Triumvirate. It's a collection of 3 of the largest criminal organizations in the galaxy: the Slavers, the Spicers, and the group that funds them all, Tri-Loans. Duke and Trabax find themselves getting in trouble here a few times. It lives up to its dangerous reputation. Things lighten up after the Ferox cluster, at least for a bit. Duke and his crew visit Emeritus, a resort world. They deserve a little break after filming several episodes in the dangerous cluster. While it sounds good on paper, Emeritus has a few surprises, and Oldie might be the only person truly happy here. The vacation ends and it's back to work. Duke tours the rings of Laniatus. A small base has been built on the little moonlet in the planet's ring. There's little gravity here. The whole station resembles a funhouse, as engineers have designed the station to take advantage of artificial gravity. Duke and his athletic prowess get embarrassed a few times on the tour. Things get real when Duke visits Udo Air. Udo Air is a conflict zone. The LIU's military is deployed here, cleaning up some of the last remnants of the revolution. The world is also home to a supercomputer that saved the galaxy. You better just read this one. Vagantor, a forest world, is Duke's next destination. Huge walking arcologies slowly meander around the planet, felling all the trees in their wake. Duke gets to drive a scooter and fails hard. Things take a turn for the worse on Pena. This prison world is reserved for the worst of the worst. All prisoners here suffer unending pain as punishment. It's one of the most controversial worlds we've ever visited. Viewer discretion is advised. Next up is the moonlit world of Masai. This episode focuses on the life and customs of a species that live on a world where their only sources of light come from its moons. Duke visits Nux, an agriculture world where they grow nuts. On Nux, they take factory farming to the next level. There's lots of bad nut jokes and innuendos. And that's Nux in a nutshell. See what I did there? Duke then visits a star, Sidereal Artifex. It's one of the brightest stars in the galaxy. Because it is so bright, and because it's visible to so many worlds, this star is of great cultural importance. It also has some anomalies that make researchers believe that the star was edited or manipulated by an advanced race. Could this race be the progenitors? Things get somber when Duke visits the tomb world of Tasita. A strange, natural phenomenon makes this world an ideal place to bury the dead. It's a popular burying ground for the LIU citizens. At least, it was. Duke unearths some of the natives' well-guarded secrets about this natural phenomenon. Duke's favorite elite citizen, Big, makes an appearance when Duke visits a small moon, Atropium. Tropium is a safari world where citizens come to look at the native animals. It's a popular vacation spot. Rich citizens pay money to hunt these creatures. You have to fund the operation somehow. Duke fights a creature for a chicken leg. Not his best moment. 16 episodes deep, we have our first special edition episode, Vox Celestia. This swampy planet is home to the Voxan race, a race of amphibian-like beings that have some of the most beautiful singing voices in the galaxy. Duke and his crew take a much-needed rest as they sit in on one of these famous Voxan operas. Too many episodes have passed without something going catastrophically wrong, but don't fret, it finally happens. A mechanical issue brings down the Magellan, and they are forced to land on Seacombe for repairs. To make matters worse, the crew is out of water. Duke and his novice group of explorers almost die in the vast, dry deserts of Seacombe before they find an ancient treasure. Things go a bit more smooth when Duke visits the Otiosu station. The station coordinates employment in the industrial Opifex sector. There's labor markets, control rooms, training facilities, and, oh yeah, millions of spare workers in hibernation. Duke looks for a new job while he's there, but, well, will he find anything? As the end of the season approaches, Duke visits Iakura. A cowardly race calls this planet home. They might be fraidy cats, but they have some cool technology, and a spaceship that also acts as a submarine. There's also a fart filter involved, so it's got that going for it. The season concludes when Duke visits the mysterious gas torus of the Europus system. There's a nice village and a progenitor temple. Duke gets all smart for once and solves a progenitor mystery. He activates one of their machines, and BAM! The season ends with Duke's disappearance. And that is Season 7 of LIU Atlas.